Bluff, the Hondius heads west to the South Shetland Islands. Our second day in Antarctica is a day full of wildlife. During the morning cruise at Elephant Point, a leopard seal pops up right beside our Zodiac. Later on, the Hondius is surrounded by orcas on the way to Deception Island, a volcanic crater with ruins of a former whaling station.
You gonna carry 10?
11, I think.
Komt daar, mate.
I know, but we have one Zodiac.
Let me know when the diamond are.
Can I move you over here? Hi, buddy. Sit.
Elephant Point is a small, predominantly ice-free promontory projecting 2 kilometres into Bransfield Strait at the south extremity of the west half of Livingston Island in South Shetland. Its coastlines are characterised by ice cliffs, coves and rocky beaches, and most of its interior is covered in an ice cap interrupted by plateaus, ice domes, valley glaciers and ash layers from nearby Deception Island's active volcano. It's a beautiful morning with light winds and a temperature of 2 degrees, much better than yesterday. Joyce is our expedition guide. She's from the Netherlands and has a master's degree in coastal and marine management.
On the way back, if we've got time, can we go past the yacht?
Past the boat? Yeah, we'll try. Yeah.
What have we got time?
You want to say hello?
I just want to see it.
The first part of our Zodiac cruise takes us along the Roch Dome Glacier. As you can expect from the name, Elephant Point is a good spot to see southern elephant seals. These are young bulls practicing their future fighting skills. Lots of big male elephant seals are hauled out on this beach, molting. This self-made settlement is home to Fyodor Filipovich Konyukov. Since November 25, Konyukov has been conducting a series of scientific studies and experiments to determine the content of microplastics in the coastal waters of the Antarctic Peninsula and the level of air pollution. Konyukov is the only person to have reached such extreme points of the planet as the North Pole 3 times, the South Pole, the pole of inaccessibility in the Arctic Ocean, and the top of Mount Everest twice, and also sailed around the world via Cape Horn 4 times. He's also the first Russian to have climbed the 3 highest peaks in the world, Mount Everest, K2 and Kachinjunga. Konyukov has set world records, notably crossing the Atlantic Ocean in a rowboat in 46 days. He also became the second person after Steve Fossett to circumnavigate the world in a hybrid hot air helium balloon, and is the first Russian mountaineer to complete the 7 Summits Challenge, the highest mountains of each of the 7 continents. Joyce is also in charge of the safety bins in each Zodiac and shows us all the important contents inside.
So we have a list of items over here. So we have indeed toilet paper, garbage bag to put it in, very important. We have a water carrier, some food ratios, thermal TPAs, thermal protection aids. But my favorite one is this one. It should have a mat in there, like a big
chart.
shelter. No, like a group shelter. This one. Yeah, that is this one. This is a group shelter, and I'm sure you remember this from being a kid. Do you remember when you had the rainbow sort of big thing, and you do like 1,
the parachute.
2, 3, and you sit on it? Yeah, parachute, and you sit on it, and it gets really warm on the inside. So that's how you also do it with this. And it's important to have it because if we ever get stranded, for example, and we're not close to a body and something happens, we use this to cover ourselves over the Zodiac. But also if we're on land, for example, we have enough for everyone. So one such a kit is enough for 15 persons. And I hope you appreciate my vacuum job. This is not perfect, but it's a lot of kits to vacuum, and I've done it all on the office. It's a lot, everything. But now it's not vacuum anymore.
Yeah, what's the one food ration?
The food ration. Oh, it's not so good though. It's not.
The dry food. No, the tender.
So you have sleeping mats for insulation specifically. If someone is really hypothermia, you put them on the sleeping mat. A TPA as well. This is a TPA, a thermal protective aid. However, it doesn't make you warm. It just remains you to keep your heat, but it won't give you heat.
But if you won't get hypothermia.
Well, no, but if you already have hypothermia,
It won't help.
it won't help.
But
no.
it might prevent it.
Yes, exactly. This is like a little thing. You have like a lighter in here, I think, and some a little knife. What was it? We just open it. Yeah, it's just a little survival kit. Cups, of course, to drink from. Very important. We have 15 of these. So yeah, so if you really have a fear of bacteria, you won't have to drink from each other's cup. And here the food ratios. There we get to it. Trans-ocean emergency food ratio. I don't know exactly, but I think it's like soya and stuff. But this is a lot. These are for 15, so you call it also in health. And I think a whole bar is about, what was it? The whole bar was about 2,000 calories. Like it's a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, but it sounds like it's not going to taste.
And you
very
just
good.
put them in your mouth, or do you put them in water? Or?
I think this is
Emergency food
water.
ration.
Yeah, one whole version stick. Yeah, you put it in water, and that's why we don't have a boiling kit in here. But we do have it in the brown barrel. Yeah. So you put it in water. So there's way more of all that. So yeah, toilet paper. Very important. So yeah, there we go. So you know a little bit. So sleeping mats, group shelter, water, cups.
How heavy is that thing then?
I am very curious about
How heavy is what? Sorry.
Thank you for showing.
Oh yeah.
Because I've been curious.
My packing. It should work. I think it should work. We're just gonna do it, and I'll make sure to put it nicely when we get back. Alright.
There's the leopard seal. Once again, we're lucky to see a leopard seal so close to the Zodiacs. They're abundant though this time of year, as there are many young Gentoo penguins entering the water for the first time, unaware of the ways of the ocean. Wow, came right under our boat. On our way to Deception Island, we get a call from the bridge. Orcas are surrounding the Hondius. It's not very often that you can see them close to ships, so the captain slows down the Hondius and does a few loops before we continue to Deception Island for the afternoon activities. The orca, or killer whale, is one of the world's most well-known predators, famous for its distinctive black and white colouring and the impressive dorsal fin, which can reach up to 1.8 metres. Orcas are found in every ocean except for the most northerly Arctic waters. They're particularly abundant off the coasts of Norway and in the sub-Antarctic southern oceans. While estimating their exact numbers is challenging due to their wide distribution, the global population is thought to exceed 50,000 individuals. Orcas belong to the dolphin family and are the largest member of this group. Males can grow up to 7.5 metres long and weigh 6 tonnes, while females are smaller. Like other dolphins, orcas use echolocation, clicking sounds and their echoes to locate prey and navigate their environment. Orcas are apex predators with no known natural enemies. They hunt in groups, displaying sophisticated techniques such as wave hunting, where they create large waves to knock seals or penguins off ice floes. Their diet is varied and can include fish, squid, turtles, seabirds and even marine mammals like seals, dolphins and other whale species. On average, an orca consumes about 230 kilos of food daily. This is Deception Island. that we're just sailing past. We're going to be going through the billows in about half an hour. It's somewhere down there. It's that rocky point where we have to turn in. That in the distance is Livingston Island, where we've just come from. That's the Shetlands. So is Deception Island, which is here. So it's not that far away, but we got stuck with the orcas going round in circles, which was brilliant. The only entrance to Deception Island is through a 500-metre wide rocky passage called Neptune's Bellows, the narrow, tricky-to-navigate opening to Deception Island. The final sentry is a submerged rock right in the middle of the passage that was the cause of many shipwrecks after the island was discovered. The origin of the name Deception was due to its unique shape. From some angles, Deception looks like a normal island. Only when you pass through the entrance, the horseshoe shape becomes apparent. One interesting fact about Antarctica is that it has the southernmost active volcano on the planet, Mount Erebus. Deception Island is the second one of the 2 active volcanoes on the continent. While it is in the polar belt, the volcanic island is under a strong marine influence, creating a unique ecosystem that fascinates researchers, which is why we drop off our Sea Women science team at a specific point further down into the bay. They're going to explore the caldera floor with the underwater robot while we go to Whalers Bay. The history of Deception Island is a tale of fire and ice. A massive, violent eruption occurring around 10,000 years ago blew the cone off the volcano, causing its caldera to collapse. The eruption forced the caldera to split, allowing the sea to flood its interior and create a natural harbour. Interestingly, the eruptions and lava flows did not turn the glaciers on the island into steam. More than half the island is covered by glaciers, and Mount Pond, the highest peak, rises to a height of 539 metres. Once you reach the centre of the bay, the actual Deception becomes clear. You're on the flooded caldera of a volcano. Nowhere else in the world can a vessel sail right into an active volcano.
Victor just came. He saw Helen carrying the 100th cup of water for a cup of tea from the 4th floor to the 3rd floor, and he said, "Would you like a kettle?" It's a brand new one, isn't it?
Yep, brand new. Wow.
This is first class service here.
While Kirsten goes on the Zodiac cruise back through Neptune's Bellows along the massive lava cliffs to see penguins and an interesting blowhole, I stay on board for another 90 minutes before I meet Kirsten again for a walk around the former whaling station.
Waving to Helen. She's somewhere in the room.
We're gonna head straight on out to the Bellows because I think that's amazing to see. We're gonna go there. You'll see during the level.
Deception Island was first sighted by British sealers in 1820. The natural harbour offers protection against the rough storms of the Southern Ocean. Before the entrance through Neptune's Bellows was discovered, many ships likely sailed past it without discovering the shelter. With the harbour offering excellent wind protection, the island became a popular halting spot for ships involved in the fur sealing industry. However, years of ruthless overhunting led to the devastation of the seal population in the South Shetlands. By 1825, Deception was abandoned by sailors. In the 19th century, eruptions of the volcano were observed in 1828 and 1842. Another period of eruption lasted from 1906 to 1912, and the subsequent eruptions between 1967 and 1970 resulted in the abandonment of the British and Chilean Arctic stations on the island. It feels kind of weird to see the colourful lava cliffs in Antarctica. What a contrast to all the white snow and blue glacier ice that covers this amazing continent. this takes us to another interesting spot further along the cliffs. Deception Island's coastline is populated by one of the largest concentrations of chin-strap penguins in the world, with over 140,000 breeding pairs.
Today's lifeboat drill. See what's inside there. I don't even know what it is. What is it? Oh, that stinks in here. Yeah. Very, very smelly. It's hard to tell what this thing is, but it's very impressive. So this is the old whaling station in Deception Island. It was completely abandoned after a volcanic eruption in 1967, I believe.
Human activity restarted on the island during the early years of the 20th century as the whaling industry started large-scale operations. The reasons were the safety of the harbour and the abundant availability of fresh water. Extracting oil from the whale fat required huge volumes of fresh water, and the glaciers on the island were a rich water source. Very soon, the island was hosting multiple whaling vessels during the southern summer, with hundreds of men working on whale carcasses laid down on the beach.
These are some weird tanks.
Initially, factory ships were moored here, but in 1912 a permanent shore station was established. That year, over 5,000 whales were killed and processed for their blubber from ships based at the island. Structures like a radio station and a hand-operated railway were built. A cemetery was set up which remains the largest in Antarctica. The rise in offshore whaling in 1925 led to the decline of commercial whaling operations on Deception Island. By 1931, the whaling operation on the island stopped entirely, and the structures were abandoned. Remnants of this grim past, like whaling equipment and rusted structures, are still visible, and you can find bleached whale bones lying on the island's shorelines. The British reoccupied Deception Island in 1944 during World War II for Operation Tabarin. On arrival, they discovered that the old magistrate's house and two of the whalers' dormitories were fit to live in. Base B operated as a research station, primarily focusing on the study of meteorology and geology. In December 1960, with the building of an aircraft hangar, Deception Island became the centre of British Antarctic flight operations. The original Wilkins runway was improved and used for many years by single-engine otters.
So this is the inside of the plane hangar. They removed the plane.
But the
first ones to be here were Australians in 1920, I think. So this was obviously the former kitchen. Building collapsed, but the stove is still standing.
It's an agar.
Helen says it's an agar, might be a British brand, I don't know. Or is that the term for this type of...
They weigh
a ton, yeah.
Deception Island continued as a safe haven for ships, stations and aircraft movement until December 1967, when, following 2 months of tremors, there was an eruption on the northwest of the volcanic island, which dropped ash in the vicinity of the Chilean base at Pendulum Cove. During a lull in the eruptions, the Chileans evacuated their base and made a dash for Whalers Bay, but no ship dared enter to rescue them. Small helicopters with brave pilots evacuated the 27 Chileans and 8 British. Being able to carry only 2 at a time, they transported them onto the Chilean vessel Piloto Pardo. Base B was reoccupied in the following summer, but only briefly, as a second larger eruption damaged most of the buildings at Whalers Bay and the remainder of the Chilean base in a mudslide. Whalers Bay is now a historical site. The cemetery is marked only by 2 crosses. The rest have been buried by a mudslide caused by an eruption of the volcano in 1969.
Sounds like a Norwegian name. Tommy R.M. Hans A. Kulliksen. We have people doing the polar plunge. Pippa's mum Kathy is in there, swimming away.
The day ends with a polar plunge for those who are brave enough to throw themselves into the icy waters.
Thank you.
The next day is one of our most spectacular ones during the entire trip. At sunrise we sail into Paradise Bay, and the name says it all. There's absolutely no wind during our Zodiac cruise here, and the water is reflecting the beautiful glaciers and the mountains around us. We also experienced a super rare animal encounter and managed to film it with our underwater camera. In the afternoon, the Hondius is surrounded by thick ice at Nico Harbour, which makes a landing impossible. Instead, we explored Danko Island, another incredible area for fantastic wildlife spotting.
Now the background is much better.